I'm sure when you were getting into acting, being a quote-unquote internet boyfriend was not the goal. This was not where you were headed.
No, that was the target. That was the, no, I'm joking.
Mission accomplished. He did it.
No.
Paul Mescal, welcome to MTV. This is a pleasure, man. All of us strangers left me a blubbering mess. Congratulations. Do you feel good about yourself?
I feel great about myself, yeah.
Is that the secret goal right now in the Paul Mescal filmography, to make as many films that can wreck audiences?
I want to destroy audiences as much as possible. Yeah.
It does feel, I mean, it's a joke, but it's also semi-serious because it does feel like you're gravitating towards these very emotional pieces of work, whether it's After Sun, Normal People, this one, of course. You know, like some people like Westerns or sci-fi. Is this kind of like your lane?
Yeah, I don't know what that says about myself, but I can assure you I'm actually all right most of the time. They're just the screenplays that I've had the biggest response to, like an emotional response to. And I feel weirdly comfortable in that territory. Like I feel like I know how to tell those stories. And of course, there's only so many of those that I can make before an audience starts being concerned for my mental well-being.
This is what I'm saying. This is kind of an intervention. I'm trying to make sure you're okay. Reassure me.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you a crier at the movies? Like in the darkness of a movie theater? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't cried in years. No, that's not true. I don't know what the last thing. Oh, I saw Blue Valentine on a 35mm print in the Prince Charles, which is one of my favorite films. That did it.
Is it messy? Is it ugly? How bad?
Yeah, it's big. It's like as he walks up the street and the fireworks are going. I probably start crying from 40 minutes in, and then it doesn't really stop.
Right.
Yeah.
It does check out when because I had heard this, that one of your favorite movies is Blue Valentine, which for those that don't know is one of the most brutal. And it's an amazing movie. Don't get me wrong.
Oh my God, yeah.
But it is a shattering film. But there's an emotional catharsis out of that, even though it is a sad, obviously documentary.
No, it's the reason I think it works so well is because you've got this like light and dark. Like the reason it's so upsetting is because you've got this wonderful, complex love story cut between it.
Do you like all sad Gosling? Is The Notebook too glossy sad
for
you?
No, I'm a big fan of The Notebook. Ryan Gosling can do no wrong.
Yeah, Kissing in the Rain. I mean, come on, that's a statement.
Kissing in the Rain, like, I want to kiss Ryan Gosling in the rain.
Goals, right? One day. You'll make it, buddy. Mm-hmm. You'll get there.
Please.
Speaking of which, Andrew Scott, who just delivers an amazing performance in this.
Yeah.
Did you know Andrew prior to going into this? You obviously have to establish such an emotional connection with him in this.
Yeah.
How did you go there?
Yeah, we were friends beforehand. Obviously, we became much closer through the filming process, and to talk about how we established the connection, it just existed. It was a natural thing. I'd love to ask actors who, when they talk about developing a chemistry, I'm sure there's ways to do it, but we didn't really have to do that on this. He is somebody who approaches work in a way that I really admire, and as much as a chemistry has to exist, it's also about the principle of acting and understanding what those characters are going through in those scenes and kind of balancing those two things out.
Right. And as you well know, there's always this fascination with the intimate moments in film. And I think because audiences can't quite imagine like how you can relax into a moment like that, because it is such an intimate act to depict on screen with someone that, while you're getting to know, they're still a stranger in that respect. So at this point, like you've done a fair bit of intimate scenes in your career. Like, do you do you know the way into getting comfortable for you, where you can put yourself in that space where you can deliver the performance you need to?
I think the thing I've learned is it works best when you kind of create a bubble of privacy around you both. Right. It's kind of an act of concentration as well. It's about kind of blocking everything else out and also reminding yourself why this exists in the film and why people like talking about sex scenes so much. People have a healthy obsession with why sex exists in film, because it's something that exists in day-to-day life, and then I feel that there's a responsibility and obligation to do those scenes justice because they are important and vital, and especially in this film they're vital in terms of Adam's character development and also Harry's character development. Like, they're not just there to I don't
not
believe
there to titillate or anything like that. Yeah. And it's funny because like I think of Normal People, I think of Blue Valentine. These are very like emotionally raw, like authentic scenes, and I think that's the difference, right? It's like with so many of these kind of scenes we see in films, like they have the gloss, they have the music swelling, and it's just like not relatable in any real way.
there's something really enjoyable about playing in them sometimes because you get to remove the pitfalls of dialogue. It's the purest kind of acting if you think about it. It's about physical connection and something that you can't rely on the words to kind of get around meaning. You've got to really go in there and stand in front of somebody and be seen and see them and listen to their body and also check in and see if they feel safe and all of these things which make it kind of a tightrope to navigate those things. But yeah, I'm really proud of the intimate scenes in this film for sure.
Did you see your buddy Andrew Scott complimented you on your kissing ability? Congratulations.
He did, yeah. The greatest compliment of my career, hands down.
I noticed there's no return back. You're just going to accept it. You're not going to go back. He's fine. He's adequate, I suppose. But
no. He's a brilliant kisser, hands down. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the friendship right now.
No.
I'm curious how music interacts with your preparation. Are you the type of actor that creates a set list for a particular character?
I'm one of those guys. Yeah.
So give it to me. What did you do for this one? What did you do for All of Us Strangers? What were you listening to?
I kind of split them up in terms of kind of what the character would listen to, in their daily life, and also what I feel represents their inner life, and not something they'd necessarily listen to. But I like to keep those things as little secrets for the most part.
Okay. And I would imagine they vary from film to film.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's certain songs that cross through certain playlists because they just work for me. There's an Irish band called The Gloaming that just do something to my inner life or something. I don't know. It just works every time.
Speaking of music, can you educate me on Mitski? I understand you're a super fan. Give me the Idiot's Guide.
Super fan. The Mitski Guide. Your Best American Girl is one of the greatest songs ever written. My Love, Mine, All Mine is also one of the greatest songs ever written. So if you're to start with 2 songs, I would start there and do yourself the service of just sitting down and spending 2 to 3 hours on a long drive listening to her songs, but be prepared to pull over and cry many, many times.
So for any occasion, or you need to be in the right headspace for full-on Mitski? You need to be open to...
I could listen to her all the time, but maybe that's why I have a propensity towards doing sad films.
No, clearly.
I court that feeling.
Yeah.
I bring it to me.
Did you hear the news, I think just the other day, that Mitski's going to be doing the music for the Queen's Gambit?
I saw
musical.
This is my people are looking into that.
Breaking
No, that's
news.
not true, actually. I've just made that up. I've just lied to you. I saw this on the internet and was very excited. Yeah.
Can you play chess and sing at the same time?
I would learn from Mitski. Yeah.
We were talking about the mutual love between you and Andrew Scott. A year later, congratulations on winning Halloween 2022. You and Daisy dressed up as Fleabag and Hot Priest.
Priest, yeah.
Were you as hot a priest or hotter priest? Or were you? What was your level of hotness of priest?
There's no competition between my attempt at being Hot Priest and Andrew's embodiment of what that was. He was the hottest priest to ever be in the world of media, I would say.
Has he? I would. Yeah. Well, it's not, to be fair, it's not a long list of hot priests out there.
That's true, but I feel like if it was a long list, he would still be at the top.
This is true. Has he returned the favor?
Yeah.
Did he go as Connell for Halloween yet?
It's a harder one to sell. It's like, what are the signifying? There's just a chain, really. He just kind of looks like a normal guy for the most part.
Right. Yeah, that's not a big seller at the Halloween store, the Connell guy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
One day. You'll get
One
those
day.
kind of roles that will lend themselves to Halloween. So speaking of markers in a career, I'm sure when you were getting into acting, being a quote-unquote internet boyfriend was not the goal. This was not where you were headed.
No, that was the target. That was the. No, I'm joking.
Mission accomplished. He did it.
No. But it's also so fickle. It passes along, and I'm very grateful at how transient that title is.
Have you and Pedro Pascal had laughs about it? Because he's also one of those. He's an internet boyfriend.
I feel like he is the king of internet boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
He is
You're ceding your crown already. You're letting Pedro take it.
Oh, happily. He should have that. It doesn't. he is that.
I feel like he embraces it. I feel like he wears the crown with confidence and grace.
I don't know. I feel like it's the weird internet thing where it sounds like a compliment, but it's just a weird thing when people prescribe it.
Right.
And you're like, it's a very insecure making thing, but also a weird compliment. So it's a confusing title.
I get it. As a fellow internet boyfriend, I totally get it, Paul. We'll talk about this later. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
You know, you're at this very interesting space in your career. Obviously, you got the Oscar nomination for After Sun, well deserved, and you're getting all these really exciting opportunities. Has this been kind of a heady time to kind of figure out to navigate your way with probably the best opportunities of your life, but also there comes some pressure on that too, I would imagine.
It's the same pressure I felt when I was in drama school. It's a pressure to deliver the best version of the characters that you get given the opportunity to play, and that doesn't change regardless of the scale. I think on the surface, or from people's perspective looking in, it probably looks like a very heady time, and it definitely has been at certain junctures. But I feel very grateful that my relationship to work is probably the great love of my life at the moment, and where I feel safest. That's not to say that I don't feel an immense pressure when you're asked to play somebody like Harry and you're asked to play X character. It's a privilege and to be given the opportunity to do that. But work feels like a safe place for me, and I'm glad that the work itself helps alleviate the pressure of expectation, because at the end of the day, I hope to be doing this until I die. So it's going to be impossible to stay on this trajectory, and it's about surviving those troughs and kind of realizing that those highs aren't permanent fixtures either. And
I would imagine that's part of the reason to perhaps not be so engaged on, like, it can be fun to dip in online and to see what folks are saying, and look, again, there's some fun stuff about you and the fan edits and all the memes and whatever, and I'm sure you see that to a degree, but to see too much of that probably can screw with your head.
It's just not real. It's like the way in which the world has now engaged with the concept of celebrity or media itself. It's like the sell-by-date period happens so quickly. There's such a quick rotation in terms of how that passes through, and I think it's important to realize that only exists because of your work, and it's a byproduct rather than a metric that is a metric of success.
Does your sister kind of keep you plugged in?
My sister and my mom are both very chronically online people. Yeah.
She's like
I'm working on it.
She's like the Francesca Scorsese to you. Do you see?
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So she points you to the creme de la creme. She'll send you a good meme.
She just points at the funny stuff, like stuff when I was watching the rugby match probably was funny to me. But it's also, she is great at sending, when I'm like feeling low, there's a good fan edit of a character is always like, they're cute. Like, people can really do some like great editing on these, I sound like a boomer, on these apps, on these social media apps. They're great.
Finally, let's wrap it up with the most important thing. It's Mescal.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, let's draw a line in the sand now that
how many crappy pronunciations? How many? It's not the liquor. It's not anything else. It's Mescal.
No, it's probably 50-50. I feel like there has been a bit of a sea change, that there's more people getting it right than wrong now. So the pressure's on for people if they're getting it wrong.
He'll give you.
I like stonewall them in interviews now.
I was going to say the dirty look. You don't want to cross this man.